Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. Happy Monday. Happy summer. It is a beautiful day in Chicago, Illinois. 75 degrees. Can't complain. Wish I was outside. Got to work today. But the Bears are going to be back outside at training camp coming up in the next couple weeks. Tickets are going on sale for training camp, to make sure that you guys look out for that on chicagobears.com. So stay tuned for more. Tony and I will have more breakdowns for you this upcoming week. And we're excited about our new sponsor. We'll be starting after July 1st, so stay tuned for that. If you like coffee, you're going to like the sponsor, so stay tuned for that. But we're happy to be back in the studio, or I'm happy to be back in the studio. I know I haven't been in it in almost 2 weeks. I was on vacation. Last week was a little crazy coming back from vacation. Happy to be back with all of you, because today I'm here to chat you about one person that that is always a topic of conversation on Chicago Bears Twitter, especially over the last couple seasons. And that guy is safety Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson, entering his 6th season in the NFL, has had a rough start the past few seasons, not only on the field, but with the Chicago Bears fan base. Nothing bad otherwise than that, but the feelings of the fan base towards Eddie Jackson due to his attitude and play towards them. I know we have been a little hard on him in the past. I am not going to lie. I have been, because I am a huge Eddie Jackson fan. First Bears autograph I ever had is right above me. It's Eddie Jackson return to the house against Detroit when he was wearing 39. So I love Eddie Jackson, and I wish nothing but the best for him. Love when the Bears picked him up back in 2017. It's crazy to say how long ago that was. But I think that this year we will see Eddie Jackson go back to the guy that we all love and know can be one of the best safeties in the NFL. I'll give you the breakdown, the reason, and how it can all flip coming up here shortly. But before we begin, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Stupid Car Tray. Tired of your pizza toppings sliding, office coffee distracting you while driving, grease and other stains getting on your seat, or you're just enjoying a game on the couch and don't want to lean over? Look no further than the Stupid Car Tray. Visit www.stupidcartray.com and use discount code J16 to get 16% off your entire order. Link in the description. And now Stupid Car Tray has cup and mug holders. You can never have too many cup holders in your car. Personal opinion, take it how you want. The Stupid Car Tray allows you to be able to place Slurpees, Hydro Flasks, Yetis, and more to be safe and secure during your ride. Use code JSHY at checkout to get 16% off your entire order. So let's go into it. The beginning of Eddie Jackson's time in Chicago and what we all reminisce and think about when we think of Eddie Jackson, especially that 2018 season that was so beyond special. It's hard to put into words. Excuse me. That was very disgusting. But let's go into it. The first 3 years of Eddie Jackson were unmatched during his time in Chicago and looked to be the steal of the draft. Eddie Jackson was a 4th-round pick out of Alabama in 2017, drafted by Ryan Pace, not Ryan Poles. A lot of people had Jackson as an early first or late first, early second rounder that year, but due to breaking his leg in his final year, it raised a lot of concern and dropped his draft value significantly. But that worked out for Chicago because his first 3 years were unbelievable. 2017, Jackson played and started in all 16 games with 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 6 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 3 fumble recoveries, 73 combined tackles, 55 being solo, and 1 tackle for a loss. Again, safeties don't get a lot of tackles for loss, at least in Vic Fangio's system. Let's go to 2018, where Jackson had the best year of his career and missed 2 games. He played 14 games and started 14 of them in 2018 with 6 interceptions, 3 total touchdowns, 15 pass deflections, 2 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 51 combined tackles, 41 of them being solo, and 2 tackles for loss. He was a Pro Bowler and a first-team AP that year. Best year for Eddie Jackson, and if you guys remember 2018 very well, that was years that the Bears got Khalil Mack, and there was a lot on the line with the Super Bowl potentially, and there's a man that kicked the football, and it double doink. Not going to say the name. We don't say the name on the podcast very often, but that was the best year for Jackson back in 2018. Let's fast forward to 2019, where Jackson started all 16 games and played in 16 games with 2 interceptions, 0 total touchdowns, but he had 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 60 combined tackles, 51 being solo, and 5 tackles for loss, also going to the Pro Bowl that year. So his interceptions went down. He didn't have any touchdowns, and his pass deflections went down, but his tackling went up. His tackle for loss went up. He still had more of an impact of the game as offenses had to plan around making sure they didn't get the ball near Eddie Jackson because of how dangerous he was. So 2 of the first 3 years is in the Pro Bowl. He made a first all-team, and those 2018 stats don't lie how dominant he was. And he was one of the brightest spots on a 2018 Chicago Bears defense, which honestly, everyone was a shining star. And you know, when Eddie Jackson's one of the top, that means he was pretty darn good at football that year. But things got weird after Vic Fangio left, his original defensive coordinator, when he left in 2019, and the Bears went with Chuck Pagano moving forward and gave an entirely different defensive scheme that did not allow Eddie Jackson to be the Eddie Jackson we know him to be. Eddie Jackson was a ball hawk and makes plays everywhere on the field thanks to his athleticism and hard-hitting ability. But once Chuck Pagano became the defensive coordinator back in 2019, things got weird. His defense did not allow Eddie Jackson to be Eddie Jackson, which meant he was going to regress. Bears fans were hoping it would flip in 2020 after, getting to know each other a little bit. Coach, how can you help me, help you? And it did not get any better even when Sean Desai took over in 2021. So his stats in 2020, the second year under Chuck Pagano, he was a Pro Bowler his first year under Chuck Pagano, but that was because Eddie Jackson, was just being Eddie Jackson still. 2020, he started all 16 games and played in all 16 games, but no interception. He had a touchdown due to a fumble recovery, 5 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, 1 forced fumble, 82 combined tackles, 63 solo. So if you noticed, his tackles went up significantly because Pagano was not using him like a ball hawk that Eddie Jackson is a threat of being. He also had 1 tackle for loss. 2021, though, these stats hurt to read a little bit when you go from that 2018 stat line. 14 games, 14 starts, 0 interceptions, 0 total touchdowns, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 76 combined tackles, 54 being solo, and 4 tackles for loss. So if you heard that was his lowest pass deflection time of his career so far. You would think that in the prime, being 28 years old, he would be unstoppable. But because of Sean Desai's defense, because of Chuck Pagano's defense, Eddie Jackson went like this and took a pretty, not aggressive nosedive, but this past season was really the big hurt, especially after the comment that he made at training camp last year saying, we're not here to learn how to tackle. And then during the first couple weeks of the season, Eddie Jackson was bulldozed a few times, missed a couple key tackles. It hurt to watch. Jackson got better as the season went on, started to gain the trust of fans back, but it just kind of was like one sting after another at the beginning of last season. But as you can see, Eddie Jackson's fun stats, interception, touchdowns, forced fumbles, all vanished without Vic Fangio. And his tackling numbers went up significantly, which is because he played more like a zone safety. That's not who Eddie Jackson is. You got to play your players like they want to be played. Great players do it all the time. They play to what they are given, but Eddie Jackson knows what he's about. And I think that this year, Eddie Jackson is going to come back and be the Eddie Jackson that we know. How can he bounce back? I'm going to bring that down for you guys. So it's really going to come down to the coaching staff. And Matt Eberflus and Alan Williams, who both worked in Indianapolis. Matt Eberflus was defensive coordinator. Alan Williams led the DBs while in Indianapolis last year. Had one of the best secondaries in football last year. Number 4 in total interceptions, number 2 in touchdowns allowed, and number 2 in turnovers. That's what Eddie Jackson wants. That's what he gets the right coaches for. And that is how he's going to help himself be himself again. And also he's going to help Matt Eberflus and Alan Williams continue to be that awesome coaches at being able to build some of the best secondaries in football. And he's already shown that he is not afraid to be hard on his players. And he's going to let Eddie Jackson know, hey, you made those comments last year. You want to do that? You want to prove to me that you can be on the Chicago Bears football team? Well, guess what? You're going to have to do a lot of that, and you're going to start right now in training camp, which is coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. But the bounce back will also be letting Eddie Jackson be Eddie Jackson. That's what the coaches are going to do. That's what Matt Eberflus is going to do. And I'm really excited about Eddie Jackson this upcoming season. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, unfortunately. Eddie Jackson did bring a lot of great memories to Bears fans, but I really think that this year, 2020, Eddie Jackson is going to come back. So make sure that you share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear what you guys think Eddie Jackson is going to do this upcoming season, as we are excited about it. We want to hear if you're nervous, excited, disagree, all that good stuff. Put it in the comments below. And stay tuned for opening day. We are going to be having a viewing party. Location is still to be determined. We are finalizing that over the next couple of weeks. But stay tuned for a viewing party location. We would love to meet all you guys and have you there. And hey, free beer. Who's going to say no to that? And also make sure to follow me on Instagram at chicago.nick, N-I-C. I'll be posting about everything we're hosting event-wise, big things that our team are doing, episodes, views from the game, and more. Stay tuned for that. But with that, that is my reason why Eddie Jackson is going to come up, have a bounce back season this year. I'm not going to give a stat prediction because I honestly just want him to be the best player that he can be. And I feel like I'm jinxing him by doing that. So with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and we will have more episodes for you later this week about the Chicago Bears.